Hi guys, today is October 23rd, uh, 2012, and I've got quite a lot of things to talk about today. First, the changes that I'm going through and all of that. I had my fourth shot yesterday, and it was my second shot of a double dosage trying to jumpstart the changes. And so that puts me 3 weeks on T now. Um, Changes, I the only thing I've noticed is my muscle growth in terms of my upper body. My shirts are tighter. At the gym, my my strength is just incredible. It just went right up. Um, I'm lifting 20 to 30 pounds per lift more than I was before. And I document everything. I write it all down each time. And as I was hitting those weights and it just kept going up, easily, I was just amazed. It was like, oh man. Uh, so I've noticed that. Um, Today is Bill and I's 30th anniversary. And something funny happened this morning. We had decided ahead of time that we were going to go out to dinner tonight to celebrate, and it was on the calendar and everything else. And as we were standing in the kitchen talking about what we were going to do today, each other's schedule and all of that, we're going through that and we're all done. And I says, "Oh, yeah, and we're going out to dinner tonight." And he says, "Yes." And I said, "Oh, geez, it's our anniversary today. That's why we're going out." And he went, "Oh." So we hugged each other and we had both forgotten. And it was like, well, happy anniversary. And that was funny. Just, it was. Uh, let's see. Oh, he said, we've been man and wife for 30 years now, and now we're going to be man and man. And he says, so we've been 30 years, we've been opposite sex marriage, and now we're going to be same sex marriage, which there's a referendum on the Washington ballot to make it same sex equality for everyone, regardless of what the genders are, or it's strictly going to be considered a union, and it doesn't matter who is involved. We are all going to have the same um, benefits, such as if one of us dies, the other one is automatically, it's common property here in Washington. Um, right now, as man and wife, if one of us goes, there is no, what do you call it? They don't have to have a will, and there's all of that, and the tax. And if one of us, if we are same sex, and it's not acknowledged by the state, we are not connected legally. So we have to do a lot of additional legal paperwork so that the other one can get it without the inheritance tax, and yet there still might be an inheritance tax, which means the government's going to get it. Also, if one of us gets sick, has to go to the hospital, and it's a situation where only family members are allowed, and I'm the only family member that lives up here, same thing, both of us, neither one of us would be allowed to go and visit the other one. It wouldn't be legal. Um, there's just a lot of things like that. If he's getting Social Security, if he dies and before I turn 62 or when I'm 62, I cannot get his Social Security as his spouse. I can, but not if I'm in not his spouse. So they'll take that away from me. There again, the government gets it. So, uh, that's fun. It's on the ballot for I guess it's November 2nd to make it legal for same-sex marriage, same-sex union we call it, and that would be nice. That would help because there's other situations that go with transgender that make it complicated. There again, legal, uh, but there's an overwhelming support of it here in Washington. So it probably will get passed, which is nice. Okay, the other thing, I had a friend that was had was as a degree, a master's degree in psychotherapy, and had no knowledge of transgender. Had didn't know what it was, didn't realize there was surgery and hormones to treat it, didn't think it was legal to be able to do that in America. It was like, oh dear, you're treating people? Can you think of a transgender person going to this person, this doctor, and this doctor saying, number one, I have no knowledge of it, and if they did, ethically, because of religion, I can't help you. I can't give you and support you what you need. What this person was suggesting was that as a transgender male, having been acknowledged as a female for the last 60 years, that all I needed to do was take some estrogen, and that way I would feel more feminine. And wouldn't that be cheaper? After giving this person just tons and tons of information, this person still wanted, we should give you estrogen. I'm going, oh, geez, I feel sorry. Luckily, I found therapists that knew what it was, were knowledgeable, were trained, had stayed up to date on knowledge, versus this person obviously hadn't. This person's the same age as me with no knowledge of this, totally ignorant. Uh, the other thing, my physician of very long time, when I went to her with my therapist letter to be able to start testosterone and write a letter of approval to the surgeon who's going to do my top or chest surgery, she refused and she wouldn't even talk to me. She talked through her nurse to tell me that morally and ethically she couldn't help me. So then I'm going, oh man, I've got the therapist letter, I've got the surgeon lined up. Now, what do I do? And I know that there are a lot of physicians and medical care people out there that are very prejudiced, bigoted, base it on their religion to not help you. So luckily I found another physician in the same clinic that I go to, that I talked to his nurse, and she says, oh yes, we can help you. He understands because he has other transgender patients. So it was like, oh, thank you. The stress level just went way down. And so he is who I'm seeing now, and he is who is um, prescribing and giving me the shots. And he talked to me later after the initial visit, I think the initial shot, he took me aside and he says, I just want to let you know that I not only am willing to help you, he says, I understand and I am totally supportive of what you're doing. It's not just because of a medical, the oath that we take to help. And I said, I really appreciate that. So, as a person, ethically as a person also, he says, I'm behind you. The whole staff is behind you. And there's such a wonderful feeling and non-stress environment when I go in there now or talk to them. The other thing I wanted to talk about had to do with that stress level and having to do with medical care professionals, psychologists, therapists, physicians, etc., surgeons, that they have done a study that in the general population, 41% are 41% of transgender, acknowledged transgender, because there are a lot that aren't out there. They don't want you to know because of being harassed. 41% of the suicide in general population are transgender. And in the 18 to 44 age group, it's 45%. And it's because they're refused proper treatment. They are harassed by the physician or the psychotherapist, and it's due to the prejudice, discrimination, incorrect treatment, and they also have increased incidence of depression, anxiety, and a history of substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, which I had all of these. I'm getting re-diagnosed at this point because it's been almost 4 months since I made the decision to transition that I have had absolutely no symptoms of bipolar, epileptic seizures, heart palpitations, none of that. It was very obvious. This is what's been causing it, the repression of it, being afraid of society, being afraid to come out, being afraid to be who I really was, keeping it packed down tight for so many years. I'd like to reference transgender and their treatment too. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, women that were going through menopause, I've been through that also, get crazy. There's a chemical change in the body that brings on depression, uh, anxiety, just real crazy. And they they would put them in institutions and diagnose them as having hysteria. That was the treatment. And they finally, and the word hysterectomy comes from that. They found if they did a hysterectomy, it helped. Now they know that there's other treatments, estrogen, etc., that that controls the symptoms. And then once you're past that, like I am, I started menopause when I was about 38, and I was in it for about 15 years. I passed that stage of needing any hormone treatment. Um, that's how they dealt with it. It's just like some are treating transgender. Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. We can drug you with estrogen, or in trans women, we can give you testosterone to make you more of the gender we think you're supposed to be. Um, just ignoring it. Go away, you're fine. Or, oh, we can pray you out of this. We lay the hand on you, and you will not be gay or transgender. We'll get rid of it for you. So we can include the church as helping along the suicides also. Religion. Don't get me started on religion. Anyway, otherwise, I'm doing really good. Still really happy. Uh, I'm 3 months prior to my chest surgery, which is really exciting. I can't wait. I want to get rid of these things that are hanging off the front of me because the rest of me is going really well, the whole thing. I'm in a way, my voice, I've been told, is getting a little deeper. Physically, when the guys see my muscles and stuff, they see that change. Um, I'm changing. I'm transitioning into who I am. And so it's the stuff hanging off my chest that I want to get something off my chest. So, anywho, this has been a very long video this time, but I'm also going to discuss this on my blog, where I can write all the figures and all the statistics and all that down. So you can read it if you want to. You may not want to read it. It's going to be long. So, anywho, happy anniversary to Bill and I. Happy 4th shot and 3 weeks. And happy pre-surgery 3 months. Da, 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 da. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.